चाओ चाओ वी आर लाइव एंड आज एक जैसे अगर आप टाइटल देख सकते हो यार, इट्स डार्बी वीकेंड बट इट्स अ सुपर डार्बी वीकेंड यू कैन से, बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली आपके पास दो दो बड़े डार्बीज है। ऑब्वियसली एक डार्बी d'Italia और एक डार्बी del सोले जो नापोली और रोमा के बीच होता है। बहुत कुछ है। आयरॉनिकली डार्बी d'Italia हो रहा है वैलेंटाइंस डे पे, which is
वैलेंटाइंस डे पे नो
yeah,
लव लॉस्ट परम, नो लव लॉस्ट।
और नो लव लॉस्ट। आई मीन बहुत बड़ी आयरनी है। आई गेस आई एम प्रीटी श्योर सेरिया ने जब शेड्यूल बनाते समय देखा होगा, चलो इसको डार्बी इसको इसको वैलेंटाइंस डे पे डाल लेते हैं। आई एम प्रीटी श्योर दिस इज डन डेलिबरेटली। आई गेस वो इटालियन रोमांटिक आइडिया होगा उनका। लेट्स सी हाउ इट गोज। आई मीन फॉर ऑल इट्स वर्थ, होपफुली हम बात करेंगे ऑब्वियसली गेम के बारे में, बट फॉर ऑल इट्स वर्थ होपफुली कोई रेफरिंग एरर्स ना हो जो ऑलमोस्ट हर गेम में होती है आजकल। नहीं तो फिर से यू नो यू विल हैव पीपल टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट मोर देन द मैच, बट ऑल दैट वील कम टू। ऑब्वियसली वील ब्रेक डाउन बोथ द मैचेस। मेनली आज हम वो दोनों मैचेस के बारे में बात करेंगे बिकॉज वी डोंट हैव मच टाइम राइट नाउ। बट हाउ आर यू डूइंग अजय? हाउ इज एवरीथिंग गोइंग?
फर्स्टली वैलेंटाइंस डे की शुभकामनाएं सबके लिए। और मेरे लिए वैलेंटाइंस डे सबसे बड़ी बात एक ही है, बिकॉज वी आर फुटबॉल फैंस। आवर फर्स्ट लव इज फुटबॉल परम। आई थिंक चिंतन's wife, DJ's wife, my wife, you know, they've all accepted it कि हाँ भाई इनका जो फुटबॉल क्लब है वो पहला आता है, बाद में हम आते हैं। और ये हम लोग तीनों का आई डोंट थिंक सो ये कहानी है। आई थिंक सारे जो फुटबॉल फैंस हैं who are married or who are dating or whatever, for I mean their better halves, their partners know ki what football means. So for me Valentine's is like the biggest celebration, because obviously you know whatever the story behind it is love, and I don't think so you can find a love that is as pure as football, man. I mean it's just beautiful.
Fair, well said. I would just want to see who all are in the house. We have Diavolo 4567. Nice to have you. Paolo Nesta 9163. Nice to have you. Shivam is here. Shivam, nice to have you as always. Happy Valentine's Day, Interpreneur. You're getting unlimited takes. Hey, bhai, मैं अकेले ही ठीक हूँ भाई. That's all I will say. But Shivam, by the way, I want your thoughts on the Atleti Barca game later, bro. Like वो उतना बात हुआ ही नहीं. वो तो भाई वो अलग ही था. Like just general discussion, not trolling or anything. Because
actually, you know, I do want to share this snippet with you, Param. Yaar, since you're single, what kind of girl would you want? Do you want a football fan or a non-football fan?
अभी उतना सोचा नहीं, बट फुटबॉल फैन ऑब्वियसली भाई. नहीं तो दिमाग खराब हो जाएगा. मतलब प्रेफरेबली, बट यू नेवर नो.
पता है हमारे जमाने पे ना फुटबॉल फैंस की कमी थी. मतलब ऐसा लाखों में ऐसा एक मतलब लड़की फुटबॉल फैन होती थी. उसके लिए हम इतना खोजते थे, बट ठीक है. आई थिंक यू नो it's worked out for the better in my opinion. At least for me it has.
RS is also here. मिलान, obviously अगर आप मिलान फैन हो तो कल मिलान ने पिज़ा को हराया फर्स्ट गेम ऑफ द वीकेंड. It was a close game. Just briefly touching upon it, मैं देख रहा था मैच. I don't know if you caught it, but it was a close one. Like Pisa debuted their new fourth kit, which was good. Pisa put up a fight. Oscar Hilliamark, अगर आपको याद होगा, former Serie A player, is their new coach. By the way, he's only 33. And look, they tried. वही story है Pisa की. They have made decent signings. Ajay bhai, Felipe Loyola, Shivam is a big fan. Ealing Jr. is now at Pisa as well. It looked like they could take a lead at some point, but then again, Fulkrug even missed a penalty. So obviously, एक point पे ऐसा literally लग रहा था कि शायद draw ले ले, but then Modric scored a very good goal towards the end. So they continue to push. Obviously, the gap is back to 5 points. Inter have to obviously maintain that gap. We'll discuss the Derby d'Italia. But Milan fans,
Param,
आपके हाँ
that moment, right, when Fulkrug missed the penalty and Allegri lost his marbles.
yeah, I
मतलब
saw that.
Allegri को अगर छूट देते थे ना, वो पिच पे आके उसको बजा देता था, मालूम है क्या? देखा इतना
उसको
गुस्सा, इतने गुस्से में था, like,
अगर तुम इंजर्ड टो वाले प्लेयर को खिलाओगे तो क्या ही एक्सपेक्ट करोगे? Still not.
But hats off to Modric, man. I mean, like
Yeah,
proper wine.
of course.
Like he is like aging like wine. I would say class is just permanent, man. Absolutely
Yeah,
permanent. I mean,
absolutely.
what a privilege it is to see him play.
Absolutely. I mean, for the Milan fans और जिसने भी गेम देखा कल, who do you think was your man of the match from the entire game? Because I really felt that Shivam Singh, not the man of the match per se, but like I had to pick a player from Pisa, I would say Loyola, because he's the most distance. He was really good on his debut, so I agree with him. Just a few comments before we start the preview. Matteo Ruggeri is better than Di Lorenzo even if he plays on the left flank. Lukman became cool. Lukman is balling. भाई Lukman का मूड देखो. अजय भाई, you see him so happy. Atalanta में ऐसा लग रहा था कि उससे ना he's on like some revenge arc. उससे कुछ छीन लिया है and he's on that typical romantic revenge arc हिंदी movies में जो दिखाते हैं. निकल गया एटलेटिको मैड्रिड से और एक मतलब सॉरी अटलांटा से और पहुंच गया स्पेन. तो इतना खुश दिख रहा है वो बंदा. Atalanta should have just given him to us यार, like but नहीं, kudos to him, he's got his big move. Yeah, exactly. Fulkrug का तो मिस हो गया वो. लुका मॉड्रिच मैन ऑफ द मैच. फुलक्रूग, ये अभिजय का अकाउंट है. अभी अभिजय तू दूसरे अकाउंट से आएगा तो भी पता चल जाएगा. अभी तू चुप नहीं सकता. फुलक्रूग प्लेइंग विद द ब्रोकन टो मोर लाइक हाफ क्रूग. एक गंदा जोक है यार. लोयोला का ले लिया. प्रत्युष सिंह says hello guys, big fan. Thanks for coming on, thanks for subscribing. Please do spread the word and सबके लिए please do like, share and subscribe on this stream. आज से कल से सेरिया एक्शन चालू हुआ था. आज डार्बी d'Italia 1:15 को फ्योरेंटीना कोमो है. वी आल्सो हैव दिस वन ना, जब सॉरी वन गेम. I'll pull up the schedule regardless. Point is डजोन पे है सेरिया. और अगर आप हमारे व्हाट्सएप कम्युनिटी को ज्वाइन करो तो उधर भी लिंक्स मिलेंगे आपको. यार ये गंदे जोक्स मार रहे, बाद में लूंगा मैं. उडिनेजे विल साइन लोयोला. बट अजय भाई, क्या बोलते हो? Let's get started. You want to start with the Derby d'Italia?
Of course, big game. And what a day to actually, like you said, to have it Valentine's Day. अगर मतलब ये rivalry के बारे में बात करूँ तो there is a lot of bad blood. I always think in terms of magnitude, right? Inter versus Juve is the big game. Like if I had to culturally kind of equate it to say another game, it will be like United Liverpool or Madrid Barca, but it's different. Like those games are huge in their own right. Inter versus Juve is huge in its own right. बहुत सारा history है. There were youth teams that were fielded. I don't want to get into that, Param, but definitely I would say that it is a fixture that a lot of fans, obviously Inter Juve fans भी नहीं, but in general Calcio fans look up to कि ये Derby d'Italia कब होने वाला है, because इतना bad blood होता है. And we've had some legendary games between these two teams, including one that was conducted earlier this season. You had a fourth Juve turnaround.
Of course. उस गेम के बारे में एक ही बोलूंगा कि नहीं, उस गेम के बारे में एक ही बोलूंगा कि I would say obviously Juve kept pushing, but we also had it, and then Jan Sommer did what Jan Sommer has been doing this season. 2 massive errors in that game, I remember. And I think sorry,
even the game prior to this, like the 4-4, this was a cracker, the 4-all. I mean, you had Juve Milan on on one side where it was like the most diabolical 0-0, and you had Juve Inter, which was 4-all. But I mean, firecrackers are always expected in this game. I mean, it goes beyond everything. Beyond the pitch, it goes like so much of history and so much has happened in the past. The weightage of this fixture is second to none.
Yeah, agreed. I don't know why the comment is stuck. If you can just move it across, I'll take it later. Ajay bhai, देखो अगर आप नए हो, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people who, या फिर just for the existing audience also, जैसे अजय भाई ने बोला, there is a lot of bad blood. I mean, अगर अभी वो bad blood होना चाहिए नहीं होना चाहिए पूरी अलग story आप जानते हो. There is a lot behind it. लोग अजय भाई, the earliest bad blood वाली memory लोगों की Calciopoli होगी. Earliest in the sense the major event, but things have been worse even before, even in the 90s. वो Ronaldo Giuliano वाला incident obviously. There have been stuff. There has been a lot of things. That's what, actually the Ronaldo Giuliano stuff, was it real? Was it when it really escalated more than the Calciopoli before that, obviously. So मतलब है यार, मतलब क्या ही कर सकते हैं. इसका ये मतलब नहीं कि फॉर एग्जांपल जो लोग बोलते हैं कमेंट्स में आजकल, मी एंड डीजे भाई शुड बी लाइक प्रॉपर राइवल्स इन रियल लाइफ, ऐसा नहीं होता भाई. मतलब इसका ये मतलब नहीं कि इंटर और यूए फैंस एक्चुअली एक दूसरे से नफरत करते हैं. लाइक इफ यू सी अ लॉट ऑफ इंटर एंड यूए फैंस लाइक ऑन द सोशल कम्युनिटी, इट्स नॉट लाइक दे हेट ईच अदर, बट इट्स समथिंग, it's something that will always live on, Ajay bhai. That's what a rivalry is, and it's something between
उस चीज के बारे में मैं एक ही चीज बोलूंगा भाई. मतलब you know, मैंने देखा है, I don't want to name the fan clubs and whatever, but the rivalry goes beyond. मतलब अगर तू इस क्लब का फैन है तो you are like a horrendous human being. I can't ever be friends with you or whatever. It's just stupidity, man. I mean, we can choose whoever we want to support to, right? It's football. It is football amongst other things, right? It's not like someone else, like your friends with, you know, potential criminal, for example, you know. So yeah, I mean, ये तो सब ठीक है यार, but Param, on the pitch, I would say, like, for me at least, I would say that Inter UA is like those fixtures where things come to a standstill. I mean, like, am I correct in equating this to say United Liverpool? Because obviously,
I would say bigger. I would say bigger.
It is not a city.
Yeah, I would say it's bigger. Like, with all due respect to any, look, again, I watch the Premier League. I watch a lot of football. You know this. And this is not me boasting, but I would say Inter UA is bigger in terms of the rival. अगर मैं rivalry के शब्द को encapsulate करना चाहूँ ना, जब वो proper in its true sense, Inter UA is bigger.
Yeah.
I know there is a lot of bad blood between United and Liverpool. I know that there is a geographical conflict. I know what the background is. I'm not saying as somebody who's unaware. I know this, but I would say Inter UA is bigger. है, बहुत सारी चीजें हुई है. ये जो डार्बी दी इतालिया का टर्म है, it was coined by a journalist because of the bad blood. If you know about this, again, maybe we'll talk about this in some reel or a video. I don't want to take up too much time here, but again, I would say it's bigger because Ajay bhai, bad blood एक iconic moments अगर आप देखो, like, you know, a lot of them, मतलब I've lost count. There is always the title difference. Inter can say more UCL, but obviously only by one. Juventus can say हम लोग बहुत ज़्यादा ही Scudetti है बहुत मिलान क्लब से comparison में. So there is this bad blood, and obviously that will never go away. जैसे आपने बोला, like, because of the nature of incidents in the past, there is no room for any amicable solution. Just like अगर आप देखो Juventus और Fiorentina के बीच में होता है, I'm just using it as an example, but Inter UA is on another level. So yeah, this is definitely a very big rivalry. इस पे actually हम शायद वीडियो बनाए, because अगर आप Copa 90 का देखो, it's very well encapsulated, this video. It's actually a very big
I love Don Carlo Mazzone running, you know, to the Atlanta fans, and super, man. I love Brescia, man. I mean, whatever I've said and done, Brescia is Brescia.
Unfortunately, we have a new iteration of Brescia, but these days, but yeah, point is, देखो, as an Interista also, I will say, like, there is always that eagerness whenever we face UA, हराना ही है. मतलब, I know there are moments where we know that clearly. There in the past there have been कि हम underdogs हैं, हम शायद नहीं जीत सकते UA, especially in that 9-year run when they won the title. Most of the times you went up against them, you knew that you would either lose or draw. But that urge is there कि हाँ भाई हराना ही है, because this is the derby d'Italia. Now the tables have flipped a bit. Obviously, अगर आप generally देखो, UA बहुत ज़्यादा derby d'Italia जीती है, बहुत ज़्यादा lead में है. But again, still now that we are in a better position, that way you feel like हाँ तुम्हें जीतना है. But then, you know, Inter don't have a good big game record this season. So good big game record. So fingers crossed is all I can say. Fingers crossed. But let's talk about the game, Ajay. As a neutral, what do you think when you look at the UA side of things? कैसा लग रहा है आपको? What should they be optimistic? I mean, just generally, what do you think as an outsider the mood is like, basically? क्या लग रहा है आपको? Because
I think UA are in a very good space with Spalletti coming in. They've been getting those results in. Keenan Yildiz has just signed a contract extension, which is again quite positive news, not only to
Yeah.
UA but I think to the league as well. Him staying is a huge factor. But आजकल साला वो भी guarantee नहीं है. मिलान का ही देख ले, players sign a contract and then they're sold the next year. But nevertheless, चलो let's
Yeah.
assume hypothetically he stays. But the mood of the camp is good for UA because they are on an upward trajectory, despite a few hiccups here or there. I just feel that against Lazio there were a few decisions that UA fans feel did not go their way. Should have actually won the game with regards to the chances that they created, but they just couldn't kind of win. The Atlanta game was a huge hiccup. I think them getting knocked out of the cup is huge because at UA they want to go for every trophy. But overall in the league, I would say Spalletti has steadied the ship. Roma, UA are tied for points, fourth and fifth. That battle is going to go there, go down to the wire, in my opinion. So overall, I think UA would be coming into this game with confidence, but Inter and obviously I'm going to come to you, Param. Inter are the juggernaut. I know Milan are trying their best to keep up, but if I look in terms of pound to pound, I think Inter have that momentum. They have the expertise. I said this at the start of the season, apne preview mein. I know Simone Inzaghi has left, but the core of that Inter team still remains, and that core knows how to go on like a 17-18 game unbeaten streak, or like getting those results in and piling those points up, and they know how to win a league. So for me, Inter are always going to be favorites, and the proof is in the pudding. They are top of the table. They are like looking like the best team in the land. And obviously, like you mentioned about the bad record in the big games, they would be looking to right that wrong, which has probably been the only, I would say, weak point this season. And it's going to be a cracker of a game, Param, because Inter UA always provides fireworks, and then you have Inter with this form and UA revived under Spalletti. मजा आने वाला है.
Fair. देखो, from an Inter standpoint, what I will say is that mood obviously काफी अच्छा है going into the game because आप एक बहुत अच्छे अनबीटन रन पे हो. आपने सासोलो को 5-0 हराया, कोपा इटालिया में रोटेट करके टोरिनो के अगेंस्ट जीते. जैसे मैं बोला कि वो knows how to trust the youngsters a bit more than, actually way more than Simone Inzaghi, because Simone Inzaghi youth पे इतना faith नहीं दिखाता है, and Kivu जैसे मैं बार-बार बोलता हूं, he's coached most of these kids at every level at youth, like every, I mean under 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, all the levels. That's why he knows Pio Esposito. That's why he knows Alexander Stankovic, who's at Bruges. That's why he knows Isiaka Kamate, all these guys. Beat Cremonese, beat Dortmund, beat Pisa. So the form is great. Like, complain nahi kar sakta. Zara bhi nahi. One coach of the month, Christian Kivu. Rightly so, I would say. Big news. Barella and Çalhanoğlu are back. Sorry, I will come to the predicted 11 and all that later. But point is, the mood is good right now. Like in training, everyone seems to have fun and whatnot. सब अच्छा तो चल रहा है, obviously. But अभी भी लाइक बास्टोनी को कल आई थिंक पूछा था, मैं अभी भी प्री गेम इंटरव्यू पूरा बराबर से पढ़ना बाकी है मेरा, एंड आई विल रीड दैट आफ्टर दिस लाइव स्ट्रीम दोनों टीम्स के लिए. बट वन पीस आई सॉ वाज वेयर बास्टोनी वाज आस्क्ड अबाउट द डायरेक्ट क्लैशेस, अजय भाई जो बोलते हैं ना, बिग क्लैशेस एसेंशियली, द बिग गेम्स हेड टू हेड, बिग वंस. तो ही सेड दिस, देखो एट द एंड ऑफ द डे if Inter were, he didn't say this, but the point is many people have been saying this कि अगर इंटर एंड में सीरिया जीतता है, राइट अजय भाई, if again, does it really matter if they won a big game or not, right? Matlab you, as long as you did enough to win the title. My point being here, Bastoni said yesterday ki again, what we need to do is simply focus on the next game at hand. शायद हम, like obviously he said we want to win the big games because ये सीजन तुमने बिग में हराया है डॉर्टमंड, रोमा, लाजियो, अटलांटा, but you have to take that next step. You lost to Arsenal, you lost to Atletico. ठीक है, Arsenal are among the top 2 teams in the world. It's very hard to beat them.
But you still, how did you lose to Liverpool, man? And that is,
that shouldn't have. Okay, that goal obviously, वो penalty वो तो थी भाई, मतलब वो नहीं होनी चाहिए थी, but still the way we played was diabolical. Then that loss to Atletico Madrid should not have happened. At least draw तो निकाल लेते तुम उधर. So point is, so he said कि basically जीतना important है because एक mental boost मिलता है essentially, because तुम अगर एक बड़ी टीम को फाइनली हराते हो, then going into the season you're like, okay, finally now we are about to play AC Milan soon, maybe, yeah, you know what, we just beaten UA, we can do it now, we don't need to have any doubts. And this again, beating mid-table clubs, bottom table clubs gives you more points because obviously there is more of them, but beating a big club, again, you just get that next level of confidence boost for the Champions League, for every other competition you are in, because at the end of the day आपको याद रखना आप still 3 अलग competition में खेल रहे हो. बाकी जो आपका लीग का competitor है जो आपके साथ ये सब चीजों के लिए compete कर रहा है, कोई नहीं है. There's Lazio, there's Bologna, there's Como. That's all. I mean, in the Coppa Italia. And in the Scudetto race, obviously you have Milan, Napoli. If you want to include Juve, you can. You never know, right? 12 points these days, you can say can be covered up or whatnot. Let's see. So point is, you have to that big game Ajay simply gives you that mental edge ki you know what, I can keep things going. So far we have, I'm not doubting this, but you have to be able to say ki bhai, this is the same Inter that went to two Champions League finals, same in the sense of the personnel mostly. You've been winning titles over the last few years. You can't suddenly say हम big game जीत ही नहीं सकते अजय भाई. Like you get the point, right? You can't not say we can't win. And it's been, ये कीबू की गलती नहीं है सिर्फ, ये सिमोने इंजागी के last year से ही हो रहा है. If you see, it's been over a year we have not won. So it's like it started from the Simone Inzaghi era. So that वो जो कीड़ा मैं नहीं बोलना चाहता, but I guess कीड़ा is the word right now that comes to my mind. वो जो कीड़ा है जो last season से रहा है, that needs to go. And never know. Hopefully the Derby d'Italia is a start. That's all I can say. But yeah, let's see where it goes. Yeah, let's see where it goes.
Fair. Predicted lineups है तेरे पास में? If you can
yes,
pull that
that's
up.
why I pulled up Sky Sport Italia. Yeah. एक मिनट दो, मैं आपके comments पे आ रहा हूँ भाई लोग. Please do like, share and subscribe. Until then, I'll come to that. We'll tackle one derby at a time. अरे
Yup. We will take predictions after the predicted lineups. We'll take predictions for this game. And then we will move on to Napoli, Roma preview predictions, and then of course we'll look at the other Serie A fixtures and wrap up the stream. Remember, guys, Pisa Milan is already done. Milan coming away with a 2-1 away win. A lot of interesting games otherwise as well. And I see a lot of comments coming in with regards to the Coppa Italia, Param. But honestly, like
we will take those predictions.
I still feel that this is Inter's Coppa Italia to lose, in my opinion. Like amongst the 4 teams, Inter are the strongest team remaining in the Coppa.
The schedule will be key. मैं एक चीज बोलना चाहता हूँ, जो लोग again, look, I know Cesc Fabregas is a very debatable coach and whatnot. Look, I think he's doing a good job, but the way he's on about this 700 passes, 1400 passes deserves a win is absolute. I don't want to get into it. Maybe some other video. But my point is, जो लोग जो न्यूट्रल्स बोल रहे हैं ना, what a Cinderella story. भाई अगर तुम्हारे पास 100 मिलियन से ज्यादा हो स्पेंड करने के लिए, you are the richest club in the league. I don't necessarily think it's a Cinderella story. I was one of the first people to actually praise Como, and I still will, Ajay bhai, because spending money wisely is also a tough task, right? We have seen many modern examples. But point being, यार तुम्हें अगर ये लगता है कोई Cinderella story है, तो you're in for a reality check. अगर next season ये लोग UEFA competitions में qualify होते हैं, right, अजय भाई, they are in for a reality check in terms of FFP. There will be they'll be, massively on the red basically accounts wise. So they'll have to sell some players as well. So वो सब अलग चीज for another video. But I just wanted to say कि जितना रोजी लगती है चीजें कोमो में, उतना है नहीं exactly. That's why it probably calls for a separate video. But predicted lineup, Sajay bhai, I'll start with Inter being the home team. Obviously ये Stadio Giuseppe Meazza में है. Jan Sommer is expected in goal. All I can do is pray and please do put in a good, just become prime Sommer from last season. That's all. He's made some top saves, Ajay bhai, this season. Like he's done it in the last few weeks, but I'm still worried with the erratic goalkeeping he has in him. Bastoni, Akanji, Bisek has to be the back three. If I see Acerbi in this game, I'll absolutely lose it, because Kivu ने एक दो चीजों पे ये किया है अजय भाई. He's randomly started Acerbi. This is now your back three, because Akanji playing in the center, Ajay bhai, gives Bisek the license, and Akanji again has the legs to track back. He's far more like Acerbi just physically isn't it anymore. That's all. It's as simple as that. Akanji is intelligent, so is Acerbi, but this has to be your back three. DiMarco, Ajay bhai, last game में 3 assist निकाला Sassuolo के against, hat trick of assist. Absolutely fantastic. Now he can break the individual record in a season. It's 18 if I'm not wrong. Ronaldinho at AC Milan, and he has 13 now, DiMarco. So hopefully DiMarco is on track for that. But he's been fantastic. Like he's leading by example. That true Interista is coming out. Luis Enrique will start. Yes. एक चीज बोलना चाहूंगा. He scored a belter, Ajay, if you saw that goal against Sassuolo. And the thing is now, log jo like I was never against on that train to sell him, because he's not moving the needle. But the thing is, he's actually putting in like constant 6 out of 10s, which is just enough to keep the team balanced, which I'm glad we didn't have a new replacement instead of him. Like I wanted a player additionally, so I think he has to start. Dumfries is back in group training, but he's not going to play anytime soon. Maybe another couple of weeks, 3 weeks before he gets onto the pitch. has shown here Barella and Hakan are back from their injuries, but this is my big question mark अजय भाई यार. Last few weeks में अगर आप जो टीम देख रहे हो जो स्टार्ट कर रही है, right? It has Sucic, Zielinski and Mkhitaryan. I'll ask you this question in a minute. I don't think that should be disturbed personally. Zielinski starts, fair enough, I get it. Zielinski has been fantastic.
Yeah.
But I am a bit doubtful here कि आप दो injuries से just वापस आ रहे हैं. मतलब yes, they must be 100% fit or whatever. I don't think you should start both at once. एक कर सकते हो अजय भाई, but दोनों मेरे हिसाब से नहीं होना चाहिए. I don't know. I'm confused here.
Let me play the devil's advocate here, and let me debate this with you. Debate with this with you. Big players perform in big games, irrespective whether they're just coming back from an injury. You need that mentality also, which obviously, like, you know, Sucic is still young. Mkhitaryan, the obviously seasoned player, but then, you know, when you have Hakan and Barella both returning from injury, returning to fitness, I think I would gamble with both of them.
I'm not. मेरा वही डाउट है, बट सूचिस का एक पॉइंट है, यस फिजिकली ही गेट्स बीट अ बिट easily because he's learning, he's developing that side of his game, so maybe that is fair. Yes, Mkhitaryan, there is a good argument to bench the guy because he's also aging thoda, he's good but he's not, so maybe आप हकान को start कर सकते हो, fair enough, but yeah, it's a risk यार. दो players जो भी 2 हफ्ते से फुटबॉल खेले नहीं है, 2-3 हफ्ते से उनको सीधा लाइनअप में डालो, is a bit of a risk. So I'm just hoping he has got it right because मैं इधर बैठ के ट्रेनिंग सेशंस नहीं देखता, वो लोग देखते हैं at the end of the day. Lautaro Martinez and Thuram expected to start. Thuram थोड़ा फॉर्म वापस आ रहा है, but I swear if this guy does not, like after his injury ना, जब he lost that bit of, I think थोड़ा उसमें जो agility थी, I guess maybe it's just
burst था उसके इसमें.
Maybe, I mean, again, this is me hoping it's not like a permanent thing and temporary. But against Sassuolo, I saw that bit of old Thuram. So I hope that continues. Otherwise, भाई अगर इसका खराब गेम चल रहा है, you know you have POS positive and Bonni to rely on. Juventus side of things. Sorry, so you addressed that question anyways. My point is, I'll come to you with the UA predicted lineup. Then we can look at the key battles. We have Di Gregorio, Lloyd Kelly, Bremer, Kalulu, Cambiaso. Ajay bhai, Lloyd Kelly is in fantastic form, like even better than Bremer. Any 2 cents on that?
I think that UA backline has overall been good. Even Kalulu has been good. Bremer has now been playing the role of a supporting icon, like, you know, the Robin to the Batman. It's very weird that I would find myself saying this in 2026 ki bhai, Lloyd Kelly is kind of putting those really clutch performances. Cambiaso also, I think, काफी pressure में था, but he got an assist last game, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But overall, Param, agar tu dekhega, this UA setup now looks very stable. Now, Spalletti has taken time, but this is his best 11. Like, this is what I think Spalletti has been consistently been putting out this lineup, and it has really worked well for them, and they've gotten the rewards. They've, like, you know, accumulated a lot of points, and even Weston McKennie playing in that 10 role, even he's now contributing with goals. एक जो एक कमी थी उसकी गेम में, that was the lack of goals. He's been doing that as well. Keenan Yildiz, what to say, man? I mean, he is their absolute linchpin, their star in the making. So a lot of UA attacks are channeled and it goes through Yildiz. So overall, I think now these players are very comfortable in terms of, like, they know their positions on the pitch and they have a system that Spalletti has put in place. And Spalletti ball is like, I mean, it's fantastic to see when it works, right? You have seen it. I've seen it for so many years. Spalletti ball is a magnificent thing to watch.
Yeah, with Spalletti ball, essentially, अगर मैं एकदम simply बोलूँ ना, you get the pieces right, it works well. और ये उसने अगर आप ये UA11 देखोगे ना भाई लोग, आपको लगे क्या है, मतलब एक दो प्लेयर आप क्वेश्चन करोगे किधर है, right? Maybe you'll question where Fabio Miretti is, why is he not starting? The point is, it's all about pieces falling in the right place. Like, it's typical for someone like a Sarri as well. अगर मैं वैसे comparison करूँ, अभी क्या हो रहा है UA के साथ, वो backline, see, अगर आप देखो UA को, they play up, अगर मैं बहुत ज्यादा टेक्निकल नहीं जा रहा हूँ अजय भाई, मैं बहुत सिंपल रख रहा हूँ, they play a bit more on the front foot, a bit more leaning towards the attacking side of games. So point is, what is happening if you see the trend in the last games, like even if they are down, there is a comeback, there is a fighting spirit, which is what you saw last season in the initial part with Thiago Motta. If you remember, they are fighting back at everything, right? Initially down jate the, come back, down jate the, come back, win or draw. And that Inter 4 UA 4-4 Inter gave them breathing room. जो 6-2 होना चाहिए था, 5-2 होना चाहिए था, वो 4-4 हो गया, right? So this is what you're seeing is essentially a fighting spirit within UA, which usually their club is associated with. And again, that is what is currently evident in a player like Lloyd Kelly. अगर आप देखो, why are people saying Lloyd Kelly is playing so well? Because वो simply he's putting in the grind. He's actually become very likable. Kudos to him. He's turned it around. You know, he was a joke when he came in. He was playing like a joke, but he's absolutely turned it around. You can right now, अगर आप बैठ के बोलो ना, अगर आप कोई कैजुअल को बोलोगे अजय कि लॉयड केली इज बेटर देन ब्रेवर, दे विल बी शॉक. बट अगर आप रेगुलर वॉचर को बोलोगे, दे विल बी लाइक, या दैट्स द ट्रूथ. इवन अ यूवेंटस फैन वुड एडमिट दिस. आई थिंक डीजेवा एडमिटेड दिस टू अस एज वेल द अदर डे, राइट, व्हेन वी मेट हिम. He literally said Lloyd Kelly is their best defender right now on form period, which is true.
Right.
So yeah, Kalulu again. Look at, see, जैसे ये मुझे ना कैसी वाइब देता है जो इंटर में सालों से यूटिलिटी प्लेयर्स रहे हैं ना, जब in terms of doing multiple things. Finally, you are starting to get those pieces right. Like you have Pierre Kalulu again doing well. You know, Cambiaso is a bit diverse as well. We know this. Yes, he's a bit shaky here and there ever since those Man City rumors. He's not been the same. But point is, he's still useful. Di Gregorio, yes, he can do better, I guess. I think we can all agree there was more expected from him. With that being said, I hope I have not jinxed Inter tonight. But Ajay, other than that, you think this should be the lineup because you have Locatelli, Kefren Thuram, that pivot is working well. McKennie 10 में खेलता है, but you know he drifts and he comes, he's handy in a lot of roles. Kenan Yildiz is going to play there, Chico Conceição, and then Jonathan David. Do you agree with this, or do you think maybe Jeremy Boga? Obviously, if people have missed his signing, he should start. What do you think?
No, I think this is what's working. Why to fix, something that is not broken? Then they have options for the bench, like you mentioned, Boga, and they have players that they can bring on. Meretti as well comes on in the second half. So, I think मेरे हिसाब से this is the best 11 that Spalletti can put out, and then he can turn to the bench if and when the game demands it.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of the bench for both clubs, quickly wrapping up the predicted lineups, key battles, and everything. I'll just quickly show Inter's predicted bench and UA's. Josep Martinez, Di Gennaro, Darmian, Acerbi, De Vrij, Carlos Augusto, Mkhitaryan, Sucic, Diouf, Fratesi, Bonni, and Piers Possetto. Pretty much everyone except Dumfries, basically. Because Dumfries is still just back from his injury. UA के लिए बोलूँ तो excuse me, Perrin Pinsolio, home. Emil Home, अगर आपने miss किया, he's the new signing. He got swapped with Joao Mario. So Joao Mario went to Bologna and Emil Home has come to UA. Juan Cabal, Gatti, Kostic, Zegrova, Atsic, Miretti, minus Openda and Jeremy Boga. कौन available नहीं है? Milik, of course, the guy is always injured, and Vlahovic, who's not recovered from his previous injury. So Ajay bhai, quickly key battles क्या लगता है? आप लोग comments में भी इस पे बताओ guys. Let's get into the comments. क्या बोलते हो?
I think the key battle, I would say, let me highlight the players that would be involved. I think UA need to stop Kenan Yildiz. Inter need to stop Kenan Yildiz. As simple as that.
UA definitely need to stop it.
No, like I mentioned, their attack flows through Yildiz. Yildiz को तुमने अगर block कर दिया, तो UA do look a bit vulnerable in my opinion, because Yildiz drifts to the center as well. You've seen it from the left. He comes to the middle. McKennie goes out. So that movement is very important for Inter's backline to track that movement. And I would say Param Lautaro needs to really step up. A lot of question marks from the media, from the critics, a lot of fans online. Lautaro in big games, and I think if this is the biggest game amongst them, where he can really kind of put on a star performance and leave his mark. So I think Lautaro versus UA's defense, and the way that Lautaro and Thuram combine as well, right? Like you mentioned, Thuram after his injury has never been the same, and you've seen that last season, the way that these two combined, whenever Lautaro and Thuram combined, they look like they've played with each other since they were kids in a playground. मतलब इतना उनमें तालमेल है. So that chemistry has somewhat been missing this season. So how UA's backline deals with Lautaro and Marcus Thuram would be quite interesting to watch. And I think lastly the goalkeepers will be under the microscope once again. Di Gregorio again. I'm not very confident about him, the way he kind of.
I hope he remembers that he's an Interista. If you know, he's actually an Interista.
Of course.
Handanovic fan. Yeah, he's a big Handanovic fan. अगर आपने उसकी वो reel देखी है, where he basically picks Handanovic as the best goalkeeper of all time over Casillas, Buffon as well. So I hope he channels his inner Interista. That's all I can say.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. But वही बोल रहा हूँ, Param, I think in a tight game, both the goalkeepers need to be on point today. Let's see. It'll be very interesting. Midfield battle, though, hey, no doubt. That goes without saying. Kefren Thuram also carries the ball very well. Inter would want to close, those channels as well. So, बहुत मजा आने वाला है. And I hope we get a generational meme like last time, the Thuram brothers with the ref cap.
वो तो अपना static post भी viral गया था, I remember. But नहीं, I want to say I feel where this game is decided. Look, in the last winning run, Inter have been taking their chances very well. Okay, we still by far, again, this is me going by facts. Okay, I'm not making things up. अगर आपको जाके numbers देखने आप देखो, Inter by far Ajay bhai create the most high quality chances in the league. I'm again keeping this to the league because this is Serie A fixture. Inter by far score the most goals. Inter also miss the most chances when they create. So आज रात जो है, that brain fade cannot be there. That big game जो भी हो जाता है बिग गेम्स में, वो गलतियां वो नहीं हो सकती. It's as simple as that. For me, that is the area for simply for Inter to avoid. You won so many games in a row. It's time to mature up. It's time to grow up. No need to act like अरे हाँ दूसरी टीम है उनको रिस्पेक्ट दिखाना है, जो मैं बार बार इंटर के लिए बोलता हूँ. अजय, I've seen this in big games. जो लिवरपूल के अगेंस्ट हुआ, I have no idea why we showed them so much respect. अरे भाई वो लोग स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं. You don't have to show them any sort of respect. Go out from minute one and finish it off. Had you been a bit more aggressive in that game, because you weren't, you never know different outcomes. So my point is, UA will be tough. Look, they have good runners in the team. आप जानते हो Yildiz, even Jonathan David.
David, yeah.
Chico Conceição will run against this. Yeah, he will run against this Inter defense that is a tad bit slow. But you have to take this risk. You don't take it now. I don't know when else will you take it. You have to finally make it count in a big game. So my point is, no need to be respectful saying that भाई अरे हाँ यूए है अच्छे फॉर्म में, इट्स अ डार्बी. नो, all of that out the window. Play to your strengths. What has been giving you this winning run? I feel where this two areas where I feel this game is decided is Jan Sommer has to do just in the last few weeks he's done good. He's made errors, but he's actually made some top saves. So I just want to see him continue that and do slightly better if possible. And Inter simply, when the key moments come across, whether it's in defense, midfield, attack, just keep your head level, and I think that's when you'll be fine. I think otherwise बोलने के लिए मैं midfield battle भी बोल सकता हूँ, but I know that will be very close anyways. It's very hard to pick, but yeah, Inter just need to keep their head in calm moments. And for UA, I feel again UA का simply हुआ है कि UA at times, I think in the transition phase, whether it's attack or defense, they at times kind of overdo things. I feel that needs to kind of calm down from their end, whether it's the defense also. If you see that times push too high and then they leave a lot of gaps, I feel that can change. Or even in attack at times they tend to kind of over combine, which I feel if they just keep it simple, they'll be fine. I know number 9 का issue है उधर, but I feel they can manage it generally with so many pieces in attack. So yeah, I feel that's where this game is headed.
Predictions, boys, predictions. Starting with you, Param. Chat, आप लोग भी आपके predictions
teams के साथ, yeah.
We will see. Let's kick off things with you, Param. Inter versus Juve, Derby d'Italia. Your predictions.
हाँ, all I will say is Inter भाई कुछ है, कुछ fan की कदर करते हो तो भाई.
No, not what you want. Your predictions.
नहीं, I'm saying exactly. I'm not saying what I want. I'm coming to what I think will happen as well, and what I want is the same thing. So, भाई अगर कुछ फैन की कदर करते हो, अगर वैलेंटाइंस डे अच्छा बनाना चाहते हो, तो भाई एक बर्थडे गिफ्ट भी दे दो, एक फाइनली बिग गेम जीत जाओ. द ऑप्टिमिस्ट, सो आई एम गोइंग ऑप्टिमिस्ट फुल. लाइक आई एम नॉट गोइंग पेसिमिस्ट और रियलिस्ट. ऑप्टिमिस्ट जाके बोल रहा, आई थिंक इंटर विंस 2-1 फाइनली, बिग गेम विन. अगेन दिस इज द ऑप्टिमिस्ट इन मी. गलत तो गलत भाई, क्या ही कर सकता हूं. अपनी टीम को प्रेडिक्ट नहीं करूंगा, जीतने तो कौन करेगा. तो इंटर 2-1. व्हाट अबाउट यू अजय भाई?
I think it'll be a tad closer. I think Juve. Okay, sorry DJ. I think Inter will win 3-2. I think Juve will score a couple of goals, but I think Inter will. It's going to be a good game, man. It's going to be a cracker of a game. मजा आएगा.
Fair. I hope, please, ये refereeing errors हटा दो इस लीग से, नहीं तो we'll have all fan bases, whether it's ours or somebody other fan base. I know रोने के लिए पहले सब लोग आ जाते हैं, जब बस हो गया मेरे को refereeing errors का इस लीग में. But I want to see more predictions. I can literally only see like 4 or 5 people only comment. Paulo Nesta says UA 2-1. Billy Johnson says Inter 3-1. Robbie says Inter 3-1. Calcio Genoa says I'm going with Param, Inter 2-1 UA. Abhijay ने अभी तक कुछ नहीं दिया. He says Yan and Yan masterclass. Obviously उससे ही आएगा. बहुत गंदा जोक था. Like जस्टिस फॉर डार्मियन क्यू डजंट लेट हिम प्ले. यार वो 3 महीना इंजर्ड था, मतलब अब भी तो आया इंजरी से भाई. Juve will do, yeah, so this Paulo Nesta's prediction which he gave earlier as well, Inter 5-0, obviously strolling. uh, uh, ये तो भाई इसको कुछ ढंग का जवाब देना ही नहीं है कभी. बट अजय भाई, just you have time to give your Inter Juve predictions. Why is Chintan bhai showing 5 on the fifth pro card? Is it a reference to I need to see his fifth pro card properly, by the way. I have not seen it properly. I'm yet to see it on YouTube.
Luca.
Why did you make Luca? Why did you make Chintan bhai into Robin Uthappa? Yeah, he looks more like Robin Uthappa actually, now that you say.
I think the designer tried very hard not to make him look like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and he ended up making him look like Robin Uthappa.
तो नया आपको एक नया कंपैरिजन मिल गया, by the way. Look, I know Como have, yeah, exactly, Jerome is very solid, but FFP does not work like this. That's why I want to make a separate video on this. I want to make a separate video. Maybe me and Ajabai will do this. Inter Ultras will throw. Yeah, honestly, unfortunately, Italy में ये होते रहता है. Yeah, more Como comments. We'll discuss this another video. Again, we'll discuss Como in a lot of Como comments. Ajay bhai, quickly before we move, Coppa Italia predictions without any explanation. क्या लग रहा है सेमीफाइनल्स? लाजियो बोलोनिया.
अरे बोलोनिया आउट हो गया.
लाजियो अटलांटा, आई मीन
अटलांटा.
I think Lazio reach the final. And Inter Como?
Inter win it.
Inter win. Yeah, I think if I think we'll win the whole thing, but let's see. आप लोग भी comments में बताओ. Let's go to Roma Napoli. Napoli Roma. Sorry, I'll come to the rest of the comments, guys. पर क्या लगता है? What's the mood in Naples? Obviously, against a very fired up Conte. I want everyone in the comments also. I want everyone in the comments to say, give your 2 cents on this. Conte ne, after his previous match, he did a Mourinho. If you remember Mourinho's zero tituli gesture and his gesture at Man United with 3 titles, essentially it was a reference to zero tituli at Inter mainly. Conte did this. We won 2 titles, 1 Scudetto and 1 Super Coppa. Like, any 2 cents on that, Ajay, in the comments? I want you guys to say something on this. He said we've won. Sorry, let me pull this up. Sorry. He said we won 2 titles and others have won 0. He took shots at all other clubs. I want your thoughts in the comments, and Ajay, your 2 cents.
I am still surprised the man is with a job. Okay, they're in the Scudetto race. I agree. But you've been dumped out of the Champions League, and that too as champions of Italy in such embarrassing fashion. आप Coppa Italia से knockout हो गए, you know. बचा आपका वापस, you're back to playing 1 game a week again like Milan. I don't know, man. I mean, how long does De Laurentiis keep up with this? Because in this summer they have invested heavily. ठीक है, injuries हुआ उनको, and हमने काफी बात किया है. मेरे को ये वापस यही same चीज बात नहीं करना है, but please, I you know, if there is a football god out there, please let Roma win this game, because the meltdown that Conte will have after this will be epic. But having said that, and after being a Romanista for so many years, I don't see any justice being doled out, and Conte will just keep on Conteing. यार अगर गलती से if even Napoli fail to win, okay, even if it's a draw, to guarantee to लिख के ले Conte के बोले we played midweek. He will come out. We had a very tough Copa game in midweek.
I'm sorry. He'll say we played midweek. Just to cut you off briefly, he'll say we either played midweek, हमारे injuries थे, which is still a fair argument. I will never hold him against that. I understand. Or we'll say there are too many. He'll say there are too he'll say like he'll put it that midweek point in a different way. He's saying we play too many games with a lot of refereeing errors. देखो एक चीज मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ भाई. Refereeing errors जो है ना, अगर आप look, I understand not everybody watches every game. It's not easy to watch. I get it. Go read about every game. Even there are refereeing errors in every game, and I'm not talking about only the top games. अजय भाई, मैं मिड टेबल गेम्स की बात कर रहा हूँ जिसमें कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस नहीं होते. मैं बॉटम टेबल क्लब्स मैचेस की बात कर रहा हूँ जहाँ पर कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस और भी हैवी होते हैं, बिकॉज आप रेलीगेट हो रहे हो. इसेंशियली आपका पैसा जा रहा है बेसिकली. there are refereeing errors in this league and in the whole world of football, every level पे. The sooner the people realize, the better. And Conte जो साइड में कर रहा है, आपने वो क्लिप देखी राइट? ही वाज प्रेशराइजिंग अगेंस्ट जेनो, रेफरी को बोल रहा था अरे
Yeah.
जल्दी करो, डिसीजन दे, जल्दी करो. दैट क्लिप इज देयर. वेरगारा वेरगारा shamelessly admitted after the match कि I knew it was probably not a penalty, I just went down hoping it will be a penalty and the referee gave it. So he openly admitted that he probably knew it was not a penalty. So ये सब चीजें जब तुम्हारे प्लेयर्स भी करते हैं, यू नीड टू लुक हैव अ लुक विद इन योर सेल्फ एंड विद इन योर टीम. बट ही इज नॉट दैट काइंड ऑफ अ गाय. उसको जो सामने दिखता है वो वैसे करेगा बेसिकली, एज लॉन्ग एज ही कैन डिफ्लेक्ट द प्रेशर, विच इज गुड माइंड गेम्स एक्चुअली. अजय, इफ यू रियली लुक एट इट जस्ट फॉर 1 second, it's good mind games because the league is a bunch of cowards who will never do anything about this, who still at least haven't done anything about this. They're talking about banning him for 1 or 2 games because he abused the referee, which he did. I think उसने बोला testa di cazzo or and something more. So he will probably get banned for a game or two, which we have not heard of by the way still, if I'm not wrong. So वो भी एक चीज बची है अभी तक. So my point is, ये सब जो narrative, look, he's doing one smart thing, us against the world mentality बना रहा है, and that is smart if that's his intention, because he did that at Inter, he did that at U, and it worked. But it doesn't work all the time. There is this other side where he's just always crying every week, भाई ये हुआ मेरे साथ, ये हुआ. Let's be real. Any AC Milan fan in the comments, Inter fan, any other club का fans, हर क्लब को इंजरी होती है, हर क्लब को इंजरी होती है, with all due respect. And again, every team has decisions that go against them. Like भाई तुम हर हफ्ते कोई नहीं रोता इसके बारे में. Like right now he's doing the smart thing because उसको पता है league कुछ कर नहीं रहा है. They're just sitting on their asses and he can cry as much as he wants. Has the league any, like again for the AC Milan and UEFA and Ajay, Fabio Maresca and Marco Guida, the two most senior referees, have publicly admitted they're scared of officiating Napoli games. ये कौन आके बोलता है लीग में भाई कि हम लोग को डर लगता है Napoli games को officiate करने में? Two of the most senior refs. Why are these two refs being assigned to Inter Milan and UA games? Why are they being assigned to any game for that matter? Right? So this crying every game, like I whatever, like I'm to beyond it. I to stop. I'm done reading his press conference. मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है, मेरे बाल झड़ जाएंगे, उसका विग रहेगा, मेरे बाल झड़ जाएंगे.
उसके तो बाल झड़ गए, उसके बाल झड़ गए, उसने ऑलरेडी विग लगा दिया है.
या एग्जैक्टली, उसके नहीं झड़ेंगे ना, उसका तो विग है भाई, वो तो और चिपका सकता है. मेरा क्या, मेरे झड़ जाएंगे उसके प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस. मेरा ऑलरेडी गए वैसे भी, सिंस पीपल कॉल मी द गोरान पांडे हेयर स्टाइल और व्हाटएवर. बट योर टू सेंस, I just, again, I don't want to be anti-Conte because I like the guy in a way. I do appreciate what he's done for Inter, but I'm just tired. Like इसके comments को पढ़ के मेरा दिमाग एग्जॉस्ट हो जाता है. Like that's the point
I will just say, Gasperini, you have one job. Please do it. I beg you. I please beg you.
Yeah. But coming to the Roma side of things, I'll come to the Napoli mood, I guess. But what do you think of Roma? What's the vibe, Ajay bhai? कैसा लग रहा है going into this game?
Look, very convincing win against Cagliari, 2-0. And convincing, I mean it with utmost respect, because Cagliari were on a really good run of form, and they're a difficult team to play. But I think from start to end, Roma did dominate a game, and that extra quality that Donald Balen has brought, right? That it shows. And परम मैं कुछ भी अपन बात करते हैं, but जो प्रीमियर लीग में ये जो प्लेयर्स है, the way that they can last in Serie A, like 90 minutes till the end, they keep on running. They have that about them. I think that just shows, it just shows in the game. And you saw Malen was very, very electric, especially right from the outside. Roma were looking to get that early goal. So you could see that there is now that kind of pattern developing in those attacking transitions, with Malen also coming back, joining the attack or starting attacks, and also being there to finish them, which is primarily his job. He was brought on to score those goals which were missing under the likes of Ferguson, Dobbik, and generally Gasperini was complaining about not having a focal point. So Malen आने के बाद में एक काफी positive change आया कि you can see that there is a focal point to the attack. You see that Sole and even Zeki Celik, I mean, critics have been there, but as a right wing back, I think this has been one of his best seasons. And Manu Kone obviously is a big loss, but you see Nicolo Pisili now, he's been given some time under Gasperini. He's always been like, a starlet, and he's done well for the under 21, the Primavera as well as the Azzurrini. So up trusting Pisilli is a bold choice by Gasperini, and those results are now showing. So overall, I think Roma come into this game having had a rough patch, thoda sa, where we lost to Udinese and we drew to Milan in a game that we dominated and should have probably won. But that loss and draw aside, I think getting a win against Cagliari was very crucial. And now it's time to kind of test the waters again, because Roma head-to-head games, apart from Lazio and Como, we haven't really beaten anyone in that top half of the table.
Yeah,
Beat the
both
Milan
of our
team,
clubs
Juve,
are in
Napoli.
that big. Both our clubs are in that big game boat. In at least maybe we've beaten that, but yeah, yeah.
It is,
But
and
yeah, sorry, you were
it's very disappointing. It is very disappointing, Parab, because even in the reverse fixture, Roma Napoli, you had a goal from David Neres, which was like, it just came at a time where I felt that probably Roma again did not capitalize on the chances that we had, in Neres scoring on the break, on the counter, and getting that smash and grab win for Napoli. Uh, yeah, those 115 games have been very disappointing, because
yeah,
I just stay up for selected games, and to see those kind of results have been
tiring.
very, very disappointing. So
It's
so
tiring. It's tiring.
बड़ा स्टेज है, बड़ा टेस्ट है. Can Roma and Gasperini conjure up something special in Naples? I just hope and pray.
Fair, fair. Simply just to add to what Napoli side of things we discuss, I feel अगर हम form देखें, right? Napoli 1-1 Como from the Coppa Italia game, Genoa को just हराया, Fiorentina को just हराया, Chelsea से हारे, यूवे से हारे, है मिक्स्ड बैग. लाइक वो जो हमने आई थिंक नापोली के बारे में एक चीज बोली थी, और अगर आप कमेंट्स में आपके भी थॉट्स दो, व्हाट डू यू थिंक ऑफ द बोथ टीम्स. हमने स्टार्ट में बोला था कि ये लास्ट सीजन वाली नापोली नहीं है, जहाँ सर्टेनिटी एक लेवल की है कि हम इसको कंटिन्यू कर सकते हैं. As this season has become more complicated with multiple competitions which they're out of now, but when they played, what happened is that it has not given Conte. Look, again मैं उसको blame नहीं करता इंजरीज के लिए. मे बी आप बोल सकते हो थोड़ा स्क्वाड रोटेशन बेटर हो सकता था अजय, बिकॉज ही डिड नॉट रोटेट इन दैट फर्स्ट हाफ ऑफ द सीजन दैट वेल, and you know how rigorous his training is, and maybe some injuries are because of that. But I can't really blame him that much. Okay, I understand it with him, I sympathize with him on the injuries, I fully get it. My point is, I feel नापोली जस्ट एक ऐसा होता है ना, जब सिस्टमिक चेंज करते हैं ना अजय भाई, थोड़े टाइम के लिए दे डू वेल, देन अगेन द रिजल्ट्स गो हेवायर थोड़ा, and then again it's like अब मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ, what can I do different, now what can I change until I get the next set of results, and then that goes wrong, and then I change something again, whether it's the personnel, whether it's the result. Now I'll give you an example. They've been settled in this 3-4-2-1 for a while, right? They got the results, and now it's been shaky results. Where does he make this mistake? I'll tell you. More than tactics, this comes to personnel, and I'll pinpoint my finger at one player. I think you know who I'm going to talk about. Simply this man here, Alessandro Buongiorno. He has been horrendous. And ये मुझे shock हो रहा है देख के, because last season, I mean the season before actually, obviously Scudetto, when he first signed for Napoli, he was the best defender in the league from Torino when he came, and he जो down look, and इसका एक ऐसे start हुआ ना जब last season injuries बहुत हो रही है इसको, which is another story in itself, and now this has led to a downturn in form. I never thought कि ये इतना गिरेगा, because अगर आपने जेनोआ गेम देखा, if you saw the 2 goals अजय भाई, again comments में go watch those 2 goals, he simply could not control the ball while not being under pressure, and then the Genoa attacker saw this, piled the pressure on him, and absolutely they scored the 2 goals. And yeah, Ajay bhai, one of instance nahi hai. He's making errors left, right. Yeah, he's making errors left, right, centers. I won't be surprised if there is a stat that says he's the defender in the league that has given away the most penalties, because that happens. Handballs happen. His injury issues don't go away. And जो leader था, that is completely faded off, and you have to ask yourself question from 2 perspectives. When does Conte look at him and say, अरे भाई मेरे को इसको drop करना चाहिए, because he's been benching Sam Boykema, okay, for Buongiorno. This is a possible predicted 11. ये जो आप देख रहे हो फुटबॉल में, predicted 11 जो मैं Sky Sport पे pull up करूंगा, but He's been benching Sam Boykema for Bunjorno, Ajay bhai. Boykema probably deserves to play. And Sam Boykema probably deserves to play. And point is, Ajay bhai, like, even for the Azzurri, when does this guy get dropped now? Because this is the serious question. Because he's just not been it. He's been awful, unfortunately, for Napoli and for you Azzurri fans. So, this will that change come tonight? On Sunday night against Roma. Will this happen? Is the big question. Because for something to change for me, the personnel, it's down to the personnel. Because of tactically or क्या ही change कर सकते हो जय भाई. There is not much that can be done. Vergara is still.
शिवम का सही पॉइंट है, लाइक ब्योकेमा आप सेंटर में खेलो एंड ओलिवेरा एज लेफ्ट सेंटर बैक, दैट्स वन थिंग Conte can do. And also don't forget there is the equation of one Jesus in here. Whenever there are injuries or suspensions, you have the man, the myth, the legend who steps up.
Yeah, and look, Vergara, fantastic. जैसे Phantom ने बोला, I'll come to your comments, guys. Give me a second. Phantom ने बोला, Vergara, fantastic talent. Whatever he did against Genoa, whatever, shameless, whatever, but he took advantage of what the league could not see. Simple as that. And Gattuso is about to call him up for the Azzurri. It's almost done. Like, he's going to get his call up, well deserved. But yeah, Napoli are in this weird phase. Like, injuries. Hey, look again. If I were to, I don't know what's happening here, but if I show you the injury list, Billy Gilmore has been out for a while. Di Lorenzo apparently has been 4-5 weeks, which is a long time. So let's see. I mean, he's probably missing this Azzurri match in the playoffs. Juan Jesus suspended. Zambogi said this is like his second injury. David Neres, his injury was mismanaged by Conte and his staff, if you remember. It was not supposed to be a big deal. They rushed him. He's out for a while. De Bruyne has been out. So it's a mixed phase. And Ajay, अगर आज ये week ये लोग नहीं जीते ना रोमा के against, it's trouble. It is trouble because then essentially आप देख के बोल सकते हो Napoli are pretty much done in terms of the Scudetto race. Yeah, it's essentially that because then Como पास आ सकती है आपके रेस में. Atalanta can also close in, you know. So yeah, essentially then their Scudetto hopes can be dashed. Head to head quickly, Ajay, before we get into the predicted lineups.
I don't want to see this.
Last, again recent matches की होती है. 16 wins for Napoli, 7 draws and 10 wins for Roma. What have been the results in the last few years? Napoli have won in Rome. They've drawn. Napoli have won. Roma last one all the way 3 years ago almost. Like obviously not exactly just over 2 years, but Ajay, 2-0 last came in 2023, where the lineup was like where Lukaku obviously was a Roma player and he scored for Roma.
Football
was still in Naples. Osimhen was there. Football is funny. Football is strange. Diego Llorente was there. Bove was thankfully still playing at Roma. Belotti was a Roma player. Politano, Osimhen. I remember this game very well. Zielinski was at Napoli. Football, time flies by. Time, forget not just football. Time flies by. Time flies by. Because I remember this game in the back of my head. Any 2 cents on this? If you remember anything about this game, you want to say?
Yeah. Conte was crying because I think. क्या था ये two red cards were
नहीं वॉल्टर मज्जारी था ना वॉल्टर मज्जारी था
Mazzari was crying
Mourinho
and Mourinho's but both were red cards man both it wasn't and Roma had so many chances again they failed to score. You see the goal 76 minute pair right
yeah
if I'm not mistaken. So so many chances and you won't believe that even after going 1-0 up and Napoli being 10 men, Napoli still had a lot of chances to equalize. And then Lukaku scored right with last kick of the game, he scored to just seal off the game. But I remember watching the game and finally Mourinho winning against a top 6, top 4 or whatever. And but yeah, I mean, in the recent past, Napoli have always given us some trouble. I think even last season, we kind of we had a few draws here or there, but that's about it. But no wins against them, which is why a fixture itna important for Gasperini. Can Gasperini, go away and win at Naples, which has been a very rare commodity for us. I hope he does.
Yeah, and again, just quickly, Napoli की last win में देखूँ तो भाई अभी obviously it was not that long ago. यही season में था when Naresh scored the winning goal.
Smash and grab win.
Yeah. Because I remember this game. Noah Lang was actually decent, obviously, before being
he was quite decent.
I remember this game, and Vania was clutch in this game as well.
Yeah.
But let's come to the predicted lineup, guys. आ रहे हैं आपके comments पे, just थोड़ा धीरज रखो, आ रहे हैं हम लोग. Let me just come to the predicted lineups, then the predictions and comments. Just 1 second. Give me 1 second. Ajay, if we can just take a couple of comments until I pull this up. Uh, just give a
So
second to load on Sky Sport
this is
Italia.
the best case scenario for Milan, right? Like, if Juve lose and Roma Napoli draw, Milan get that buffer in second place, and definitely I would say European football, like
No,
Champions League qualification.
but
But
honestly,
let's see how.
fair enough. No, fair point. But I think honestly, at this point, they will either be hoping for a draw or an Inter loss also, because अगर आप प्री गेम कॉन्फ्रेंस देखो ना अलेग्री का कल का, राइट, सो
Of course,
he was not shying away, he was never deflecting the Scudetto battle. So they are believing, look, every right reason, अगर आप मैनेज कर सकते हो आपका एक गेम में वीक एनर्जीज, there is nothing wrong with it. So I mean, again, it doesn't matter how many competitions you are in, you play what is in front of you. You might not be the best, but again, you have to believe, and that's what Milan are doing. They won yesterday as well, so they might probably be hoping कि भाई दोनों गेम ड्रॉ हो जाए, But coming to the predicted lineup, Ajay bhai, Napoli का आप लोग अपने thoughts देते रहो यार. Who do you think should be starting? Who do you think should be benched? ये वो. Vania in goal, Rakmani, Boykema, Buongiorno is expected to start. I agree with Shivam, Ajay bhai. Oliveira has to play. I think he just doesn't trust Oliveira that much, which is insane. I feel Buongiorno की जगह Oliveira has to play. And Ajay bhai, this is where as a Roma fan, as a Romanista, you need to look and say, भाई मेरे attack को Buongiorno पे पूरा capitalize कर रहा है. You have to target him.
You have to target him.
Yeah, he's at an all-time low. Like you have to. There are no two ways about it. आपका midfield 4 है, Politano as wingback जो industrious role खेलता है, Spinazzola, McTominay, Lobotka, Vergara and Elmas is the two behind Højlund, and yes, Elmas hasn't been great that way per post is written, but he's putting in the yard, and Vergara has been absolutely fantastic. So has been your Højlund. They've been good. And this is the expected lineup. Bench बहुत थे ने अजय भाई जैसे expected था. Meret, Contini, Mazzocchi, Oliveira, Gutierrez, Giovanni, this new signing Santos and Lukaku as well. Actually, there has been a big piece of news coming from Naples that Conte did not want these two players, Giovanni and Santos. He did not want Giovanni as well. But again, it was more of apparently a Giovanni मानना signing. उनका जो sporting director है, I guess उसको Giovanni कुछ ज़्यादा ही पसंद आ गया. But apparently Conte did not approve of these two signings, and maybe it's true because याद है अगर आपको what he said about subbing on after subbing on Giovanni in that game, he said I had to sub in a player who have never even trained, who have not even trained. So maybe Giovanni was not a player he wanted, and Juan Jesus is not available. De Bruyne, Gilmore, Neres, Anguissa, Di Lorenzo. On the Roma side of things, why are they showing Vania Milinkovic for Miles Villar in goal, Ajay bhai. Gilardi is in good form. Mancini, Indica, Zeki Celik, Wesley, Pizzili, Cristante, Dybala, Pellegrini, Daniel Malen. क्या लगता है? What do you think? Are you fine with this, or do you think there needs to be a change if this is what the lineup is to be?
No, I think this is going to be the lineup. Sole has got a slight knock. He's got a muscle injury, so his participation looks doubtful. I don't know whether he's fit enough for the bench, but definitely out of the starting lineup with that muscle injury. Like I mentioned, Pisili has really stepped up in Manu Kore's absence, so much so that he's put Eli Naui on the bench because Pisili has been that good. Cristante, love him, hate him. You can't deny that. He's that guy, man. I mean, he's the guy who a lot of Roma fans have a criticism, which is valid till a point. But then, yeah, I mean, Gasperini is trusting him, and Gasperini has kind of earned his stripes to be over there. But I'm very, very kind of like happy with the way that Malen has been linking up with this Roma attack. बहुत ही एक positive है. Milan के against उसका finishing boots था नहीं, but against Cagliari, fantastic finishes both. Especially the first finish was absolutely peach. And that too, a chip in front of Francesco Totti, who was in audience, and he is obviously, in unrelated news, Totti is coming back as a sporting director very, very soon. But yeah, Param, I think with whoever is available, this is the strongest 11. Shayad Hermoso aa sakta hai, but like you mentioned, Gilardi arguably has been in better form than Buongiorno. I mean, it is. He's been so. Yeah, I mean, overall, if you look at it, last 3 months, Gilardi, I think seriously, he should be making those national team call-up wale sounds because rumors. Because
Gattuso
he is
is
kind of like
considering calling him up. Gattuso is considering
yeah,
calling
and
him up.
it makes sense because and like you mentioned, this Roma attack have to target that Napoli defense. With all due
Absolutely.
respect, need to
आपके
target that.
पास yeah. If Dybala plays, I don't care who it is. You have to simply just look at the fact that भाई Buongiorno is low on confidence. उसे नहीं हो रहा है. उसे ball control करने में उसको self doubt हो रहा है. भाई, you have to. If you don't, then it's a shame यार. Like if
आई
you don't do.
वो जो स्टैट है अभी भी आई थिंक वैलिड है द per passes per defensive action, so it shows that when Gasperini wants the team to press, they do press.
Yeah,
And I think if they can get an error out of the Napoli backline, I think that would be great. Early goal, yaar, Param, you score an early goal and Roma have the confidence. If Napoli score first, there is that pressure, there's that mental block for Roma to come back into the game. Milan के against भी honestly अगर वो penalty नहीं मिलता था तो I think Roma would have gone the entire game without scoring, because it is just that mental barrier that's there. So I just hope and pray that we can score that opening goal and break the deadlock.
I agree with you. I agree. You have to score early. Smash and grab, जो I feel बोलोगे last time आपके साथ किया था, is what you need to essentially do. But if anything about Roma smash and grab against big teams, it's something not that great, but has to change. Bench पे Golini है, Vasquez है, Davis Vasquez, of course, Divine Range, Hela Inui, Hermoso, Zelkovsky, Angelino is there, but I think he has that mystery. Has he recovered from that mystery injury or condition? I think उसको कुछ लंग का इशू था, right? कुछ breathing problems थे, right?
Yeah. He hasn't recovered.
He hasn't. So wow, it's just sad because कुछ पता ही नहीं चल रहा वो बंदा किधर. Because Angelino is not a bad player. He's a decent player. At one point he was even better, but उसको जो breathing problems, he's just been गायब for ages, and I hope he recovers, because it's not something यार, it's not it's insane यार, पूरा career बेचारे का खराब हो रहा है. Tsimikas is still there, right? If I completely forgot.
He's still there.
Matias Sule obviously 50-50.
Even Gasperini forgets sometimes that he's still there.
Yeah. Venturino है जो जेनोआ से नया साइनिंग है. Robinho आज है, obviously Robinho आज को भी बीच में इंजरी हुई थी. Manu Kone, Sharawi I feel is a big miss that way. Dovbik continues to be out. He had surgery, and even Ferguson are out as well. Come, let's guys come. Just one quick thoughts I want to know in the comments and from you, Ajay bhai. I'll come to the links and everything, guys. मैं बता दूँ. Where do you think this match is decided? Tactically, anyway, moment wise, क्या लगता है? Generally, I'm not asking from one side of thing. Like I'm asking generally.
Whoever takes the chances wins this game. And one thing where I give credit to Napoli, especially Rasmus Højlund, he's been very good at those पता है कीपर सेव करता है and वो rebound पे गोल मारता है. I mean, it is very elite because a good number 9 will always be alert, like a Pippo Inzaghi, for example. Like you'll not see him in the game, but then in those clutch moments he does pop up with a goal. I think Højlund has been very, very crucial in Napoli getting those points. Secondly, I think Vanja Milinkovic-Savic, whenever he plays for Napoli, they look good despite the defensive howlers. Milinkovic-Savic is there to save their butts all the time. So I think this is where for Roma we need to take our chances. Half chance milte, you have to take that chance, and then kind of edge Napoli out of the game mentally. Like I keep on saying, mentality is such a big issue, right? And both the teams have very fragile mentalities at this point of time.
Yeah.
So it's literally who can take advantage of who can nail that first blow. Boxing game में अगर तू देखेगा परम, it's always about landing that first blow. Whenever a boxer lands a first blow, there is a confidence. So ये game में ऐसे ही होने वाला है. It's going to be the team who can score, take kind of like जो भी जितने भी chances मिलते हैं, अगर उसका फायदा उठा पाए, I think they will end up winning.
Fair. I think mentality is key here more than anything, because Napoli mentally are in this weird chaotic state where they are trying to do anything possible to win. Like, right? They're just in that, because उनको पता है कि title race में वो लोग और थोड़े close शायद होने चाहिए, but they're not. They know internally, I think they fumbled in the Champions League where it's just not acceptable to finish 30th. And as much as he says Due Tituli or whatever he wants to say, the reality, I think the way he expresses himself is because internally somewhere he knows कि ये season थोड़ा better होना चाहिए था. And I feel again, managing key moments despite injuries is going to be essential because they've capitulated, and that is where as manager your choices matter. For me, Conte, key area for Napoli is the starting 11. Bench Buongiorno, and I think things can be better from the get-go. Get your starting 11 right. Boykema ko khilao or Oliveira ko khilao. Then let's talk. Roma, simple. We've seen Roma in the big games, not won a Roma have not won a big game this season, and it's simple to identify that Roma, especially जब AC Milan का game अगर आप reference पे लो, they come close, then the chance they kind of end up fumbling on that chance. So you have to overcome that essentially, and you have to be able to look at Napoli and say भाई 3 साल से हराया नहीं, हराना पड़ेगा अभी. So yeah, that is essentially what it is for me. Let's come to predictions. अजय भाई क्या बोलते हो? And comments पे Napoli Roma आप लोग सेम टीम नेम्स के साथ प्रेडिक्ट करो.
Napoli 1, Roma 1.
Draw. Yeah, I think this will end in a draw.
इतना सब बोलने के बाद एंटी क्लाइमेटिक प्रेडिक्शन.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think this ends in a draw. I don't know the scoreline, but I think this ends in a draw. I know it's very difficult to play at the Maradona, but still I feel draw होगा ये. मुझे लग रहा है like हमें chaos मिलेगा. I feel there will be drama. Conte Gasperini, and Gasperini's hatred for Naples. I mean, he's made some very weird comments about that. So I just want to see the Naples crowd booing.
I want that drama. I want to see that drama on the sidelines.
या अगर आप जानते, अगर आप अब ये स्ट्रीम पे टाइम नहीं है हमारे पास ये डिस्कस करने को, some other day, but if you want to Google it up, Gasperini really had some weird hatred for Naples and the people of Naples, which is very, I mean, I don't know how he said it, but whatever. So I mean, Gasperini, he's like the, as they say, Italian Epstein for a reason.
Welcome to Epstein.
I wonder though what Epstein translates to in Italian, क्योंकि name के translations होते हैं, right? If somebody can chat GPT it or Google it, I wonder what Epstein translates to in Italian. That is what Gasperini is. I want comments में दो यार, come on, I want to see predictions. Draw says Paulo Nesta, Siddhant says Napoli 1-2 Roma. I want to see more predictions. WhatsApp community का लिंक हमारे इंस्टा बायो से ले लो यार. इंस्टा पे जाओ, उधर बायो पे हमारा WhatsApp ग्रुप का लिंक है. उधर हम लोग गेम्स के पास अभी repost all the links and that's where you can watch. Other than that, अगर आपको officially subscription खरीदना है तो DAZN पे subscribe करो. It is quite expensive, but it's an option. That's all. I saw a few comments. Let me take that and close Ajay bhai. Malin Brace, Roma 2-1. 1-1 draw for says Paulo Nesta. Yeah, see, this is the point, right? Real Madrid को जिस हिसाब से injuries होती है, सबको injuries होते हैं यार. Billy Johnson, like it happens to everyone. Anthem also says Spurs have a lot of injuries, which is a valid point. Yeah, he's a very good. Yeah, he's a good player. He's थोड़ा late bloomer है, but Napoli don't usually give you those many chances. So yeah, Conte is funny. I can't lie. In future, I will tell my kids को stories about Conte. मैंने था अच्छा था, पर Conte पे बहुत cons थे यार.
This is a good one. I like this. I approve this.
Yeah. You have to give it to the guys. Press conferences are entertaining as hell. Look, there are actual links of post-season. So if De Zerbi does not take a job right now, which obviously doesn't look like he will, Fiorentina might approach him. It's coming from the Florence side of things that they might approach him from at season end. Abhijay asked thoughts, Ajay, briefly on the De Zerbi sacking. What do you think? I mean,
he did send his best wishes to you day before yesterday on your birthday. Sorry. So I think, jokes aside, I think De Zerbi for his own sake, he should go back to the Premier League. I really feel कि अगर Spurs का job available है summer में, he should go to Spurs or go back to Brighton, because it looks like Brighton are also going to part ways with the German guy over there. So I think De Zerbi का तो थोड़ा he got found out, and not tactically. I mean just as a human being in France, and that spell will be remembered for that. Madam, तू सोच 20 साल बाद है ना, 20 साल बाद बच्चे लोग रील बनाएंगे कि that Marseille team had all the anti-heroes assembled in one, and their leader, their main guy was De Zerbi. That is what is.
I would say he was. My theory is his name didn't pop up in the Epstein files, but he's that Epstein ka a secret apprentice, and that's all I will say. who's managed to conceal himself very well. यार एक interesting comment है. Why are you guys following Serie A? This is why we have this channel, Kurusta. Watch the Serie A and then we'll get back
अरे
to you. That's all I
यार,
watch the
honestly,
league,
Param,
watch Italian football.
I have never watched 90 minutes of a Saudi league game, even after all these stars have joined. Honestly, I mean, I watched more
Fair,
I
fair.
League games recently than Saudi league.
Fair. See, again, मैं simply बोलता है जो देखना है वो आपकी choice है. हम इधर बैठ के ना we can only convince or try to convince people to watch Italian football. And I'm saying this normally. This is not any negative, any malice towards you, Kurusta. Just normally discuss कर रहा हूँ. Ajay bhai knows this. I watch a lot of Asian football, so I do end up watching the Saudi league because as an Asian football aficionado, I have to watch it. I do watch it. I do. I know it has its positives and its drawbacks. उधर बहुत ड्रामा चल रहा है. But all I will say is भाई ये तुम compare नहीं कर सकते ये दो चीज को. तुम्हें Italian football has its own beauty, and I would simply say तुम्हें देखना है देखो, नहीं देखना है देखो यार. We are Italian football enthusiasts. Ajay has been watching, has been a Roma fan since late 90s. Have been an Interista since 2003. So my point is, जो आपको देखना है देखो. All we can do is sit here and convince you, and I would say there are many reasons to watch Italian football. That's all I will say. Just go back, watch our streams, watch our videos, you'll understand. Just go Google many things that are available to watch. You'll understand why you should watch. 2-1 Roma says Phantom. Kurstab says Napoli 2. Interesting. SRX simple. हम एक काम करो, फिर से मैं बोल रहा हूँ, इंस्टाग्राम पे जाओ, बायो में हमारे लिंक्स देखो, व्हाट्सएप कम्युनिटी के लिंक्स है, उस पे ज्वाइन करो, उधर हम लिंक्स डालते हैं. या फिर डज़ोन इज द ऑफिशियल VPN है. जब आई डोंट नो इफ यू नो दिस, कॉस्टुम ने हमें ये बताया, टॉक स्पोर्ट is showing Serie A games on their YouTube channel, TalkSport. अगर if you TalkSport, but it's mainly UK exclusive. So आपको अपने VPN के थ्रू, अगर आपके पास है, अगर आप UK पे रीजन चेंज करना पड़ेगा. I don't know if it's still there, but Cremonese versus Inter was shown like that. So you'll have to check. But TalkSport apparently does show. So अगर आप VPN के थ्रू जुगाड़ कर सकते हो और YouTube पे देख. हाँ बोलो.
By the way, Shivam का prediction 1-0 है, and I have to show something. Just give me 1 second.
What is he showing? What is Ajay bhai cooking? Let's see. I agree, Krustab. Chiesa को क्या ही करना.
I was in Delhi for fanball meet, and Shivam gifted me this jersey. आपने photos देखा रहेगा, but again, nevertheless, I just want to show this.
हाँ, Brescia kit.
ये सब Brescia, and it's so amazing. And the back has got Roberto Baggio. I mean.
Wow.
Such an iconic hit. Thank you, Shivam, so much.
मैं तेरे से जर्सी ही नहीं मांग रहा, मुझे भाई बता वो तेरा सेलर कौन है. I'm just comparing the price because my seller uses the same website you are using, and basically that's how I get these kits. Same website. I just want to compare. Yeah, I just want to compare the prices. So if your seller is offering better prices, then I will probably consider taking from him. And also let me know if he's Indian or if he's from abroad, because मेरा seller UK based है. That's why थोड़ा ज़्यादा लगता है maybe. Blue suits Ajay bhai.
Well, no, definitely not. Blue third kit of Roma.
Wait. He just admitted he's not an Azzurri fan. His blue doesn't suit you. You just said blue.
I was coming to that. Blue suits me anything but light blue. That sky blue is horrible.
नहीं ऐसे डॉज नहीं कर सकते. But also see, जो तेरा वो aggregator site है, उससे मैंने ये जर्सी भी ली है 2004 Adriano at the back. So yeah, like good seller. But मुझे पता तेरा वाला कौन है. I just hope Qatar Saudi Lazio का. यार, I don't think Lotito will sell.
Will sell also. He's doing so well for Lazio. They should.
Maggio, yeah, Napoli. Like again, Shivam's prediction is this. So yeah, I think अगर आपके कोई final comments है बता दो. Paulo Nestor saying Union Brescia kit.
और ये भी comments में ये भी बता दो कि Valentine's Day का क्या प्लान है, वो भी बता दो.
देख Union Brescia बहुत controversial है because उनके अल्ट्रास ने प्रोटेस्ट किया, but eventually अल्ट्रास के पास ज्यादा choice नहीं होती है, and they had to settle for the club, otherwise they won't have a club. Honestly, it's not as beautiful as it looks from the outside. It's a very controversial thing because honestly, अगर preference होता ब्रेशिया को ही revive करते, but उन्होंने नया club ही बना दिया. So that's a sad story actually behind it. We'll talk about Chiesa properly in another stream because अभी हमारे पास time नहीं है Kurusta, because Ajay and me have been talking about it. We'll do a video because we obviously have felt Chiesa could have played more, he could have made different choices. we'll talk about this properly later when we have more time. Any closing thoughts, Ajay bhai? Any last comments?
Oh, well, I think I started off with this. I'll close with this as well. Valentine's Day, it is now known across the world as the day for love, symbolically at least. हम सारे football fans हैं. For us, football means the world and then so much more, right? So continue remaining football fans, continue loving the sport. I know it has evolved, it has gone through a lot of different stages, but I think the love just continues here. It just a forever thing. And I'm so eternally grateful that we are able to build a community as Calcio Churcha. Obviously we love Italian football, but we also watch other leagues. Like Param mentioned, we love the sport, and what we're trying to do is to build a community. To support karna in whatever way possible. Content आता रहेगा, and we'll see you next week. Hopefully after, I just hope that this Monday morning there is some ray of light, some ray of hope.
Similarly, I can only hope that Inter does right by me and gives me my birthday gift. That's all I can say कि भाई कुछ शर्म है तो जीत लो. And Shivam said the right thing here. He actually cost to back the honor of interviewing Johan Vasquez, Genoa Genoa का captain and Mexican star. भाई उसने उसके ट्विटर हैंडल पे पोस्ट किया है. अर्बन पिच के लिए उसने लिखा है, go read it. I will link it in on Calcio. I'll make a static post because it's a big thing to interview a Serie A player, like a captain, that too, Genoa's captain. Calcio Genoa, if you're still watching, he actually cost to had the fortune to interview it, so go read it. Atleti go through here, simple as that. इसके बाद अगर Atleti mess it up, I have no words. Like, I think Atleti will go through. Yeah, we do watch.
I can see Barca coming back in this game.
I mean, I do see, देखने का सब कुछ टाइम नहीं मिलता, जिधर देख सकते देखते, but I do follow that way. Like मैं बार बार बोल रहा हूँ, Palermo, despite all the money for Serie B, they are proper chokers. Like they should have beaten Sampdoria 3-3 draw किया. We'll discuss. Like last season, Ajay, you remember we had done a stream on the teams that had been promoted. Let's do a stream. First love is Italy. What about the new love? I don't know what you're talking about.
So पुराना ही प्यार है.
So Siddharth, एक चीज बोल रहा हूँ. This season we've taken oath that we will collaborate with a lot of global content creators from the Calcio community. We've been in talks with a few of them. Hajball, hopefully in the future. But we've started talks with a few of them. So keep an eye on the channel. Ajay bhai, quickly, I think no, I just don't know. Like, meh is the right word to say it. Like, very average, very average coach. Nothing to look forward to, I would say. अगर आपको excitement चाहिए तो नहीं मिलेगी. I hope he takes Spurs to championship. But yeah, I think closing thoughts. Thank you for joining in, guys. Please do like, share, and subscribe to this stream, to the channel. Please do subscribe to Ajay Bhai's channel. उधर भी content आता रहेगा. इधर भी थोड़ा, I know, थोड़ा slow down हुआ है, but we will make more content. Don't worry. थोड़े changes चल रहे हैं, थोड़ा ये वो चल रहा है, planning चल रही है. So आ जाएगा content. Don't worry. All I can say is hopefully Inter make my weekend look good as well. Let's hope for clean games. Please, no refereeing errors. आज 7:30 से Serie A चालू हो रहा है, Como Fiorentina. So please do tune in and please do watch Serie A. Please do join our community where we can give you links to watch. और एक और चीज भाई, Indian football देखो. I know Indian football is not in the greatest phase, but आज 5 बजे से ISL चालू हो रहा है और soon I-League चालू होगा, which is the now what Indian Football League, right? Rebranded
Indian Football League, yeah.
Indian Football League, like
but,
IFL.
The main news is that they're the confirmed relegation. So there will be one team.
Confirmed relegation. I am waiting to hate watch a few teams and I hope certain teams get relegated.
तू love watch तू ज़्यादा hate watch ही करता है तू.
मजा आता है यार. It keeps you going. All jokes aside, I won't be hate watching, but the zone is paid, yes. तो इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ, अगर आपको फ्री में देखना है, join our WhatsApp community. It's a positive community. उधर आके negativity मत फैलाओ. उधर links देते हैं हम आपको, ठीक है? So ISL देखो, ISL 5 बजे मोहन बगान versus Kerala Blasters. Also Marcus has just tweeted, if you're based abroad, the way to watch it is it'll be free to watch on YouTube. देखो अजय पे बड़ा फायदा है ये लोग को. Abroad जो बैठे हैं उनको YouTube पे free पे अपने को पैसा भरना पड़ता है fan code से. So yeah, it's there to watch on fan code, Sony on TV and YouTube if you're based abroad. So yeah, please do watch ISL, please do watch Serie A, and we'll see you guys very soon. Please do like, share, subscribe. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao,
Sempre is
ciao,
full
ciao.
of Forza Inter, Forza
Dai Roma,
Calcio
dai.
Churcha, and Forza
Dai Roma, dai.
Azzurri. Yeah. See you guys very, very soon.